Hi everybody, it's Karen Cinnamon here. I'm the founder of Smashing the Glass, which is the world's biggest Jewish wedding blog and platform and Instagram and membership community and all that good stuff. I'm also the founder of Talking Memberships Community. I'm also the founder of Brides Club, which is our membership for brides to be. If you're not already a member and you're Jewish or you're Jewish and you're planning a wedding, you're missing out. It is so the place to be. I shall put the link in the comments, brides.smashingtheglass.com. It is literally the best place on the internet and planet Earth to be if you're planning a Jewish or interfaith Jewish wedding. So I am coming to you every Wednesday at the moment with a different tip to help you plan your wedding your way, your Jewish or interfaith Jewish wedding your way. I want to help you with the ceremony, with the traditions, with getting the most bang for your buck, which is what today's session is about, how to maximize your wedding budget. And by the way, this is for you whether you're having a budget wedding or a super luxe lavish wedding. We all want the most bang for our buck, don't we? Can I get an amen? Can I get a yes if that's you? And also I can see people are watching, but I can't see any of your names or comments or anything like that. So please pop something in the comments. Tell me who's watching. Tell me where you are from. Are you planning a wedding? Are you in the industry? Do you just love smashing the glass? I want to hear from you. I don't want to sit here on my own talking to myself. So please put your questions in the comments. Also, if you've got any questions and if you're watching on replay, I welcome you to do the same. Ask your questions. So let's get stuck in. I know so many of you have just got engaged over the holidays because like I say, our Brides Club is literally booming with new members. It is bursting at the seams. We still do have a few more places left this month to join for free for the first 30 days. You can experience it for free. So if you're interested, just click on the link, brides.smashingtheglass.com. I'd love to be able to help you in a deeper way with anything and everything. We've got a whole community of brides as well in there, brides to be newlyweds that are going through what you're going through. But I am going to talk today all about how to maximize your wedding budget, because we all want to maximize our wedding budget. Hi, Nurit, great to meet you. Thanks for joining me this evening. It is evening here in the UK. It's 9:30. I've actually just done a session inside my Brides Club on how to personalize your wedding ceremony with the amazing Rabbi Paul Glantz. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to jump in and do my Wedding Wednesday session on the Facebook page this evening. So it's pretty dark here. It is pitch black dark. It's 9:30 at night, but I am here. I put my glitzy earrings on and I thought, yes, let's go live on Smashing the Glass. So let's talk about budget. It is such an important one. It is one of the first things you should do when you sit down and decide, obviously you get engaged and you just enjoy that euphoria of being engaged. I do not suggest you sit down on day one and start planning everything out. But when you are ready, first thing you want to do, along with a draft guest list and envisioning your big day after you've done all that, is you do want to get an idea of budget, whether it's you're funding the entire thing or you've got people contributing. You want to know a rough idea of what those amounts are. You want to have a set kind of idea of what you're going to spend and what you can afford. Otherwise, you'll be looking at venues that are either way out of reach or the wrong capacity or whatever. So it pays to be organized. Do have the budget talk right at the beginning. It's not always easy to talk money, but it saves you a lot of tension, stress, and hassle if you do have those chats about budget and finances right at the beginning. We do have inside our Brides Club a really amazing resource called the Sample Budget Wedding Spreadsheet, where we've got all the different elements of the wedding you need and like the percentages of what people typically spend on each thing. So that's a really good starting point as well. But just as a general rule, I can tell you that about 50% of your budget will go on your venue and catering combined. And I'm going to get on now with my tips, because one of my big tips relates exactly to that. Melissa's saying, hi, Melissa, Karen, can we plan a wedding and just have a big party? Well, it's funny you say that because, and she's tagged Laura Welker. It's funny you say that because, and I know you're just in jest and you're just joking, but one of the things, we get a lot of non-Jewish people reading Smashing the Glass and writing into me. And what they say is we love Smashing the Glass because a lot of the other non-Jewish blogs don't focus enough on the ceremony. They kind of just glaze over it, and they're all about the party and the details and the dress and the food and this and that. But we at Smashing the Glass, we in the Jewish culture and tradition, it is all about the ceremony. So the party's going to be amazing, but it's a party, and it is an amazing party to have all your loved ones in one room at one time, but it is all about the ceremony. I feel like this earring's going to come off. By the way, shout out to the amazing Menina Dix. I'm going to tag Menina if I can. I'll do it later. I'll tag Red Leopard instead, which is her company. She and I, well, she took me shopping yesterday. I put it on my Instagram stories, and she chose these amazing earrings, which I love so much. I'm just wearing them at home on a Wednesday night. And I love this top too. I love Menina. So shout out to Menina. I hope you're watching, and I hope you like the earrings that I'm wearing straight away. So let's kick off. I can't believe I've been babbling for sort of 5-10 minutes and haven't got started with my budget tips. So here we go. I got 6 great tips. And if you've got some tips that, you know, you've already planned a wedding or you're a pro watching, throw them in the comments. Let's have all the best big wedding tips all on one thread, on one video. So number 1, I've got the first 2 are the biggest ones that will make the biggest difference. Number 1, get married. Choose a wedding date that's either during the week or out of summer months. So basically, why can't Thursday be the new Sunday? Okay, if you decide to get married not at a weekend, you're going to save yourself a fortune, because your negotiating power is bigger, because you're not competing against so many other couples. You know, plenty of vendors are going to be booked up at the weekend. But I think my husband just got home. He's going to walk in here in a minute. He's been out for dinner, and he doesn't know that I'm doing a Facebook Live in here. There we go. He thinks I just kind of watch TV and relax when he goes out. He doesn't realize I jump on and do Facebook Lives. I'm waiting for him to walk in. Anyway, he's not walking in. I think he kind of knows, because I shut the door there. So let's carry on with what I was saying. So yeah, in terms of, if you've got your heart set on getting married at a weekend, of course you'll get married on a weekend. We can do that, but you want to try and choose a month between October, November, and say April, May. If again you want to get the most bang for your buck, you know, be in a better position to negotiate. So choose your date wisely. If you go for a Sunday in July or August, you're just not going to be able to negotiate in the same way. It's going to be as simple as that, because you want to book a photographer, but they also have, you know, 3 or 4 other couples that want that date as well. So they won't be able to move anywhere on their price. If anything, they'll raise it because it's such a popular date. So that's number 1. Number 2 is make another massive one that's going to contribute hugely to your budget and cutting it, is your guest list. Literally, that's the biggest way to slash your budget, is to slash your guest list. Now, you may not want to gut it or cut it, but if you do, you're going to save money. So, you know, choose your guests wisely. You want people there that are going to add to the atmosphere and are genuinely excited to be at your wedding. You don't have to invite people out of guilt, or because you're inviting, you know, 10 people from one friendship set. You don't have to invite, you know, this a friendship set and that friendship set and whatever else. So just remember that your guest list, cutting your guest list, is going to save you a huge amount of money. And as I said earlier, the reception, so that's venue, food and drink, that's going to be about 50% of your budget. So if you want to cut costs, you want to cut your head count. So number 3 is think a little differently. Yeah. If you go for like a wedding brunch or a barbecue style or a fun buffet style instead of a traditional 3-course dinner, more than likely it's going to be a little bit less on the purse strings. People want to have fun at your wedding. They don't necessarily want to go to the same wedding they went to last weekend and the weekend before and the one they went to last year. So they're very happy to experience something different, like food trucks. I mean, one of the best weddings I've ever been to was a budget wedding with a fish and chip food van outside. And it was so much fun, and because it's all about the atmosphere. You know, people don't have the time of their lives eating fine food in a horrible atmosphere. They have the time of their lives eating fish and chips in an electric atmosphere. And the atmosphere is not created by how much money you spend. The atmosphere is created by an authentic experience, being true to yourself, and you know, making sure your guests have an amazing experience. If you have happy guests, you're going to have a happy atmosphere. So think a little differently. That's number 3. Number 4, priorities. What are your priorities? So I don't recommend splurging on every element of your wedding, because again, your personality and your individuality won't shine through as a couple if everything's kind of extra. Where is the personality of the couple? I like to say you want to think where you want to put your budget and splurge on those bits, and then be careful with the rest. So for instance, if a kosher caterer is really important to you, you'll obviously put a lot of budget into kosher catering. And then maybe if stationery is less important to you, go have paperless post, for instance. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I love printed stationery, but for some people, printed stationery is not a big deal. So save on that. If you're a music person, have an amazing live band, go for it. But if it's not your top priority, maybe just have live music for the chuppah and reception. That's what we did. We had live music for the chuppah and reception, and then we had a DJ for the party, and it worked brilliantly. So choose your priorities. That's number 4. Number 5 is prioritize what you really want. So again, have that chat with your partner, preferably at the beginning, at the early stages, and find out what is most important to you both. Are you totally foodies? Splurge on the catering. Is music more your thing? Then secure a fab band and a DJ. Are you all about the style? Splurge on the dress and the decor, and you know, pull back on other areas. Spend on what's important to you. And cut costs on things you don't mind so much about. So that's another big tip. And my final tip is to consider, what do you really need? Yeah, not what do you really want, but what do you really need? And I want you to remember this mantra. You don't need everything you see on Pinterest. And actually, I've got a bonus tip at the end. I've got to give you 7 tips. So, you know, you look on Pinterest and you think, I want a cocktail stand and a popcorn bar and a flower wall and singing waiters and everything. Look, it might look all amazing on a Pinterest board, but who really has the money for all those things? And like I said earlier, people remember the food, they'll remember the atmosphere, they may remember, you know, the smiles on your faces, but they will not remember the type of orchid you chose and all those kind of details. So splurge only where it counts. And I've got a couple of bonus ideas actually that have just come to me. So bonus idea number 1 is this: plan with perspective. So, you know, it's so easy to get caught up in, oh, I must have, you know, live music throughout every element of the wedding, otherwise it's just not going to be a special wedding, or I must have 3-course meal, a buffet just doesn't cut it, and all this. And actually, what is your wedding mission statement? This is something I encourage in Brides Club at the beginning. I want you to write down a wedding mission statement, you and your fiance, of what you want your wedding to be about and how you envision it in just a sentence or 2. So for instance, you know, we want to create a beautiful wedding in Los Angeles, by the sea, connecting with our nearest and dearest. And then if you're having a conversation about, you know, whether to have 3 courses or 4 courses, and you think, well, is that really going to affect my vision of, you know, an LA wedding by the sea with my loved ones? No, it's not. So just make a decision that reflects your budget and move on to the next thing. So plan with perspective. And my sixth bonus, maximizing your wedding budget, is we are currently running an amazing competition to win a band at your wedding, and not just any band, an amazing acoustic roaming band, which is just the most fun thing you could have at your wedding. I wish this band would have been around when I was having my wedding. This band is called Balagan, and they are just the hottest, the coolest, and the best roaming bands. So basically, they're totally mobile. They go from table to table. They personalize the songs. They can can do Jewish wedding music, they can do pop, they can do Latino, they can do Mizrahi, they can do folk, they can do anything. And they're amazing. And we are currently on Smashing the Glass giving away the chance to win a performance by this acoustic roaming band, which is worth over £3,000, $4,000. So I can just save you that much. If you want to enter that, there's a big saving. So let me put the link in the comments for you to enter. But basically, if you go to Smash the Glass and search Balagan, B-L-A-G-A-N, which is such a great name. It means chaos in Hebrew, which I love. Enter our competition and save yourself thousands and have a free band at your wedding. How amazing. So, by the way, they work really well whether you've got a DJ or a band already booked and you want to just add an acoustic roaming band, or they work really well on themselves. Have a look at that link and it shows you kind of all the possibilities and some sample videos, and they are seriously the best. I cannot recommend having them at your wedding. And by the way, if you don't win the competition but you still want Balagan at your wedding, they are offering 10% discount to our Brides Club members. And that's another way to save. Oh my God, I'll give you a third bonus tip. If you're a member of our Brides Club, we offer you 10% discounts on hundreds of hand-picked brands and vendors. It is just, you know, a way to save thousands. We've done the work for you, handpicking amazing vendors across all the countries and styles and locations, and we've negotiated an automatic 10% discount with them. So that's another way to save money. So I hope you've loved today's Wedding Wednesday. I'll be back next Wednesday on the same place on the Facebook page, talking all about venue, how to find your perfect venue. So last week we talked about the 4 things you need to do when you're newly engaged, and next week I'm going to talk about guest list, how to come up with a perfect guest list. Then this week we'll talk about budget, next week guest list, and then we're going to talk about venues. So come back here next Wednesday and join me for next week's episode. And if you're watching on replay, I want to hear from you. Pop something in the comments. Bye.